Have you ever noticed that some people seem to be born with a different star shining upon them? That even when facing difficulties, they always find a way to prosper? Well, I have an important revelation for you who were born under the sign of Cancer, or have someone special of this sign in your life. The universe doesn't distribute its gifts randomly. There is a cosmic plan, a divine order that chooses certain souls to receive abundant blessings. And today I'm going to show you 9 concrete proofs that you, Cancer, were chosen to live a life of true wealth. I'm not just talking about money in the bank, although that's part of it too. I'm talking about a wealth that goes far beyond numbers, an abundance that touches every area of your existence. And do you know why? Because the moon, your ruling planet, doesn't just govern the ocean tides. It governs the tides of universal prosperity. It commands the cycles of abundance that ebb and flow in all our lives. But for you, Cancer, this command is special. It's intimate, it's personal. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal secrets that most people will never discover. I'm going to show you signs you may have ignored your whole life, signs that prove your journey has always been different. If you stay until the end, you'll understand why certain situations happened in your life, why you feel things so deeply, and most importantly, how to use these natural gifts to attract all the prosperity the universe has already set aside for you. Because the truth is this: wealth isn't something you need to chase. It's already destined for you. You just need to recognize the signs and open your arms to receive it. First test: your intuition is an opportunity radar. Do you know that strange feeling you get in your chest when something is about to happen? That nervous feeling in your stomach that warns you even before any concrete sign appears? That's not paranoia. It's not unfounded anxiety. It's your Cancerian superpower working at full strength. The moon has given you a gift that few people possess: the ability to sense energies before they manifest in the physical world. And that, my friend, is literally a fortune waiting to be harnessed. Think about it. How many times have you felt you should or shouldn't do something, and ignored that inner voice, only to discover later that your intuition was right all along? How many opportunities have you let slip by because your rational mind convinced you not to trust that gut feeling? Now imagine if you had listened. Imagine the doors that would have opened, the paths that would have emerged, the connections that would have happened. Your intuition is not a whim of fate. It's a cosmic navigation tool that has been specially calibrated for you to find life's hidden treasures. The most prosperous Cancerians in this world have one thing in common: they stopped fighting against their intuitive nature. They understood that when their heart aches, when something doesn't seem right, even if it makes perfect sense on paper, it's time to pause and listen. And the opposite is also true. When that feeling of expansion happens, when you feel that something is right even without concrete proof, it's the universe pushing you towards abundance. Your feelings are not your enemies. They are your most reliable guides on this journey. The interesting thing is that while other signs need spreadsheets, market analyses, and complex studies to make financial decisions, you have direct access to the information field of the universe. You pick up vibrations that haven't yet become physical reality. This means you can be 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of any competition. Not because you're smarter than others, but because you have access to a type of intelligence that transcends common logic. An emotional and spiritual intelligence that reads between the lines of reality. Now, let me tell you a secret that will change your relationship with money forever. Wealth has a vibration. Yes, you read that right. Everything in this universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and money is no exception. When you are aligned with your intuition, you automatically tune into the frequency of abundance. It's like tuning an old radio until you find the right station. Suddenly, everything becomes clear, the static disappears, and you start receiving messages perfectly. Your intuition is this fine-tuning mechanism, and every time you ignore it, you are literally turning off your prosperity receiver. But there's more. Your intuitive ability isn't just for you. It transforms you into a magnet for people who need that sensitivity. In the business world, in the world of relationships, in the world of opportunities, people are tired of robots repeating empty formulas. They want real connection. They want someone who truly understands them, who perceives what's behind the words. And guess who has this talent naturally? You, Cancer. When you use your intuition to serve others, to understand unexpressed needs, to offer solutions even before problems are verbalized, you become irreplaceable. And what is irreplaceable always has infinite value. Second test: you transform emotions into valuable creations. While most people try to hide or suppress their emotions, You have the rare ability to transform them into something tangible and precious. This is an alchemy that few master. You feel deeply, that's a fact. But this emotional depth is not a weakness, as some have tried to make you believe throughout your life. It is your greatest wealth. Every tear shed, every overflowing joy, every moment of melancholy or ecstasy is fuel for creations that touch souls and move mountains. Think about the greatest works of art we know, the music that transcends generations, the books that change lives, the companies that truly make a difference in the world. What do all these things have in common? They were created by people who weren't afraid to feel, to dive deep into emotional waters and return to the surface bringing pearls of wisdom and beauty. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon governs the realm of emotions, dreams, and the collective unconscious. You have access to an infinite reservoir of inspiration that other people don't even know exists. When you allow your emotions to flow through you without judgment, without resistance, something magical happens. They transform into brilliant ideas, creative solutions, projects that carry an authenticity impossible to fake. People feel when something has been created with emotional truth. They may not be able to explain it, but they recognize that genuine vibration that touches something deep within them. And in the modern world, where so much is superficial and manufactured, authenticity is the new gold. It's the new diamond. It's the most valuable currency that exists. Now, I need to warn you about something important. Many Cancerians block this creative channel because they've been taught that feeling too much is a problem, that crying is weakness, that showing emotion is inappropriate. These lies were planted in your mind to keep you small, to prevent you from accessing your true power. Because when you truly embrace your emotional nature and learn to channel it constructively, you become unstoppable. You create things that no one else could create. You solve problems in ways that no one else would think of. You connect dots that are invisible to others. True wealth comes from your ability to offer something unique to the world. And what you have that is most unique is precisely your way of feeling and processing life. Each of your emotional experiences is a seed of abundance waiting to germinate. That deep sadness you felt? It taught you empathy that can be transformed into services or products that help people in similar situations. That explosive joy you experienced? It showed you what really matters in life. And this clarity can guide more informed financial decisions. Every feeling is valuable information if you know how to decode it. And one more fundamental thing. You have the gift of creating emotionally nourishing environments. Whether at home, at work, or in personal projects, you naturally bring a touch of warmth and security that makes people want to be around you. That's no small feat in the business world. Creating a culture where people feel valued and safe is the difference between average companies and empires that last for generations. In personal life, being able to nurture deep relationships is the foundation for support networks that transform into unexpected opportunities. Your ability to create emotionally rich spaces literally attracts material wealth as well. Third test, your loyalty builds golden networks. There's a characteristic of yours that goes unnoticed until you start connecting the dots. You don't collect contacts, you cultivate relationships. While others are busy trying to meet as many people as possible, exchanging business cards and adding people on social networks, you are building something much more precious. You are weaving a network of genuine trust, mutual loyalty, and connections that withstand time and life storms. And that, my Cancerian friend, is the true definition of relational wealth. Consider the very nature of the crab, its symbol. It has a hard shell protecting a sensitive interior. It doesn't open up to just anyone. But when it does, when it allows someone into its inner circle, the devotion is absolute. You don't make superficial friendships. You create family bonds with people who aren't even blood relatives. And do you know the value of that in a world where everyone is alone even when surrounded by people? It's incalculable. People are hungry for real connections, for someone who truly cares, for relationships where they can take off the mask and be themselves. Now I'm going to reveal something to you that perhaps you haven't yet consciously realized. Every person you've sincerely helped, every time you've extended a hand without expecting anything in return, every moment you were loyal even when it would have been easier to turn your back, all of this has created a cosmic bank account in your favor. The universe has a perfect accounting system. Nothing is lost. Every act of kindness, every demonstration of loyalty, every gesture of genuine love is recorded in your energetic frequency. And this frequency attracts back exactly what you emitted, multiplied. Have you ever noticed how the greatest opportunities in your life have come through people? It wasn't newspaper ads, it wasn't cold selection processes, it wasn't magic get-rich-quick schemes. It was that friend who remembered you when a perfect job opening came up. It was that acquaintance who thought of you for a special project. It was that person you helped years ago who came back into your life with an incredible offer. This isn't a coincidence. It's the law of reciprocity in action. It's the universe returning the energy you planted with your loyalty and genuine care. And there's another powerful aspect to all of this. When you are loyal, when you honor your commitments, when you are present in difficult times and not just during celebrations, you build something that no amount of money can buy: a solid reputation. Reputation is invisible capital. It's what makes doors open before you even knock. It's what makes people trust you without needing complicated contracts. It's what transforms strangers into partners and partners into lifelong allies. In the long run, your reputation is worth more than any amount of money in the bank. But let me tell you a secret about all this loyalty of yours. It needs to include you too. Many Cancerians are so dedicated to others that they forget to be loyal to themselves, to their own dreams, to their own needs. You can't give from an empty cup. You can't nourish others if you aren't nourished yourself first. Being loyal to yourself means honoring your limits, pursuing your goals, investing in your growth. When you do that, your ability to contribute to others multiplies. And the more you contribute in a healthy and balanced way, the more wealth naturally flows into your life. Look at this interesting fact. Studies on successful people show that the quality of their relationships is the best indicator of lasting prosperity. It's not luck, it's not isolated intelligence, it's not working 20 hours a day. It's having a genuine support network. It's having people who believe in you. It's having relationships based on mutual trust. And guess who has a natural ability to create exactly this type of relationship? You, who take loyalty so seriously that it has become part of your essence. This way you love and dedicate yourself to the right people is an asset that will generate dividends for a lifetime. If you're enjoying these revelations about the gifts that make Cancer a sign destined for wealth, I have a special request for you. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click that red button now and activate the notification bell. Because I'm here every day bringing messages from the universe, especially for people like you, who seek to understand their purpose and unlock their full potential. Comment below where you're watching from. I love knowing that I'm connecting with special souls in so many different places. And if these words are touching your heart in any way, if you feel these messages were made for you, consider becoming a channel member. Your support allows me to continue this work of bringing light and guidance to those who need it most. Agreed? Then let's continue, because there are many more powerful revelations coming. Fourth proof. You see value where others see emptiness. You possess an almost magical ability. You can see hidden potential. While most people discard, ignore, or pass right by things, situations, and even people that seem worthless on the surface, you have a different perspective. Your eyes see beyond appearances. Your heart senses invisible possibilities. This is one of the greatest keys to wealth in the world, and you naturally carry it within you. It's like having special glasses that reveal treasures where others only see rubble. You know that abandoned house that everyone thinks is ugly? You see a cozy home waiting to be reborn. That project that was rejected by everyone? You identify the rough diamond that just needs polishing. That person that nobody gives a chance to? You perceive the unrecognized talent, the dormant potential. This isn't naivete, it's not seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's having a keen sensitivity to perceive what lies beyond the obvious. It's understanding that real value is often hidden beneath layers of neglect, misunderstanding, or simply a lack of vision. Great fortunes have been built exactly like this. Someone saw value where no one else did. Someone bet on something everyone else dismissed. Someone invested time, energy, and resources in what seemed lost to ordinary people. And when that person had the Cancerian sensitivity to nurture what they found, to give it affection, attention, and the necessary care, what was discarded was transformed into a rare jewel. This applies to real estate, businesses, relationships, ideas, absolutely everything in life. Your ability to see and nurture hidden potential is literally a walking gold mine. Now think with me about something profound. Why do you have this ability? Because you yourself have been underestimated. Because you know the pain of not being seen for who you truly are. Because your sensitivity has taught you that surfaces lie, that true value lies in the depths. Every time someone judged you by your shell without knowing your inner self, you learn never to do that to anything or anyone. And this life lesson has transformed into practical wisdom that generates concrete results in the material world. Your wounds have become your X-ray vision for hidden opportunities. But there's a crucial detail here that I need to warn you about. Just as you see potential in everything, you also need discernment to know where to invest your energy. Because not everything with potential deserves your time and dedication. Not every difficult situation needs your rescue. Not every lost person should become your recovery project. Wisdom lies in combining your ability to see hidden value with your intuition about where your energy will truly make a difference and bring returns. When you unite these two forces, you become unbeatable. Look at this beautiful thing. You transform deserts into gardens. That's what you do naturally. You take something arid, neglected, seemingly dead, and with your characteristic care, with your emotional dedication, with your ability to nurture, you make life sprout where there was nothing. This could be a failing business that you revitalize, an undeveloped talent that you cultivate, a house that you transform into a home, a wounded relationship that you heal. Every time you do this, you are not just creating value. You are manifesting your divine purpose on earth. And the universe richly rewards those who live their purpose. I'll give you a practical example of how to use this gift strategically. Look around you right now. What situations in your life are being ignored because they seem hopeless? What talents of yours are dormant because you thought they were worthless? What connections have you let die because they seemed hopeless? Apply your Cancerian perspective to these areas. Ask your heart, is there real potential here? If the answer is yes, if that feeling of possibility arises in your chest, then you have just found your next source of wealth. You don't need to go looking outside. The opportunities are already in your life, just waiting for you to recognize them and nurture them back into life. Fifth test. Your emotional memory is a library of wisdom. You never forget how people made you feel. You might forget names, dates, superficial details, but the emotional mark of each experience remains etched in your soul forever. And you know what? What many consider excessive sensitivity is actually an extremely sophisticated filing system. Your emotional memory is like a gigantic library where each book contains valuable lessons about life, about people, about the world. And this library gives you an extraordinary advantage on the journey to prosperity. Think about it. When you're about to make an important decision, whether financial, professional, or personal, you don't just rely on cold, hard data. You automatically consult your emotional archive. You remember how you felt in a similar situation from the past. You recall the feeling a certain person caused you. You access thousands of past experiences that have taught you, in your flesh and soul, what works and what doesn't. That's living wisdom, not textbook theory. It's knowledge tested by direct experience. While other people repeat the same mistakes because they don't emotionally process their experiences, you carry each lesson tattooed on your heart. That past financial disappointment, you remember exactly how you felt, and that protects you from falling into similar traps today. That victory you achieved against all odds, you access the feeling of capability you felt that day whenever you need the courage to take a risk again. Your emotional memory is both shield and sword, both protection and drive. What's fascinating about all this is that you are constantly learning and evolving through your emotions, even when you don't consciously realize it. Every interaction, every situation, every experience is adding data to your bank of emotional wisdom. Over the years, you become a kind of master at reading energies, understanding dynamics, and predicting outcomes based on feelings. This puts you steps ahead in negotiations, in choosing partners, and in identifying real opportunities versus empty promises. But here's a difficult truth that needs to be said. Many Cancerians get stuck in painful emotional memories. They revisit old traumas so frequently that they become prisons instead of schools. The magic happens when you learn to extract the lesson from each difficult experience, and then release the negative emotional baggage associated with it. Hold on to the wisdom, release the pain. Keep the learning, release the resentment. When you do this emotional cleansing, your inner library becomes a pure source of guidance, instead of a repository of traumas. You know what else? Your ability to remember how people made you feel transforms you into someone people never forget. When you treat someone well, when you make a difference in someone else's life, it's forever etched in their heart. You create positive emotional memories in others, and those memories translate into reputation, referrals, doors opening and opportunities arising. You literally plant emotional seeds that sprout like trees of abundance in the future. That's wealth creation at the deepest and most lasting level possible. 6th test. You protect what you love with relentless determination. There's a side of you that many people don't know until they see it in action. When something or someone you love is threatened, when your dreams are at risk, when what you've built is in danger, an ancestral force awakens within you. The crab's shell becomes warrior's armor. The pincers that normally embrace transform into impenetrable tools of defense. This ability to fiercely protect what is important to you is direct fuel for building sustainable and lasting wealth. Many people start projects, launch businesses, plant dreams, but give up at the first sign of difficulty. They lack the necessary determination to weather the inevitable storms. You don't. When you are emotionally connected to something, when you have put your heart into a goal, you become virtually unbeatable. It may take time. It may be difficult. It may seem impossible. But you don't let go. You don't abandon it. You protect your emotional investment with all your might. And this loyalty to your own dreams is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Think about the great family fortunes that span generations. Do you know what they have in common? It's not genius. It's not continuous luck. It's fierce protection of the wealth they've built. It's an absolute refusal to let years of work be destroyed by carelessness or external threats. You have this protector mentality naturally. When something is yours, when you've cared for and nurtured something until it grew, you'll defend it tooth and nail. And this protective stance applies to your money, your investments, your valuable relationships, your peace of mind. Now, there's an aspect of this protective force that is a pure manifestation of abundance. When you protect what you already have well, you send a clear message to the universe that you are responsible, that you deserve to receive more because you know how to take care of what you receive. It's like that old parable of the talents. Whoever takes good care of the little receives more. The universe observes how you manage your current blessings before multiplying them. Your protective Cancerian nature proves that you are a reliable guardian of prosperity, and reliable guardians always receive more treasures to protect. But pay attention to an important point. There is a difference between healthy protection and fear disguised as caution. To protect is to actively care, to create safety structures, to make intelligent decisions based on wisdom. Paralyzing fear is something else entirely. It's becoming so attached to what you have that you can't take risks, you can't invest in growth, you can't expand. The key is to use your protective strength to create solid foundations from which you can grow safely, not to build walls that isolate you from new opportunities. Let me tell you something about all that determination of yours. It intimidates the right people and attracts the right people. It repels those who wanted to take advantage of you, those who saw your sensitivity as a weakness. But it magnetizes those who recognize your strength, who respect your ability to protect your interests, who want serious partnerships based on mutual respect. In the world of business and finance, being known as someone who isn't naive, who knows how to protect their investments, who doesn't let attempts to exploit them go unnoticed, positions you as a serious player, worthy of serious proposals and real opportunities. 7th test. Your patience is divine strategy in action. In a world obsessed with instant results, overnight wealth, and magic formulas for quick success, you possess a gift that seems old-fashioned but is revolutionary: the ability to wait for the right time. Your patience is not passivity, it is not conformity, it is not laziness. It is a deep understanding of natural cycles. It is lunar wisdom that understands that everything has its season, its moment to germinate, and its moment to harvest. And this wisdom gives you a gigantic advantage over the collective anxiety that makes people make hasty decisions and lose fortunes. The moon, your ruling planet, doesn't just control the ocean tides. It governs the cycles of all living things: growth and contraction, expansion and introspection, action and waiting. You feel these natural rhythms in your cells. You know when it's time to plant and when it's time to wait. You understand that forcing results before their time is like uprooting a plant to see if it's growing. It only ruins everything. This ability to respect the divine timing of things saves you from costly mistakes that impatient people make every day. Look at this interesting fact. The best investors in the world have something in common. They don't buy and sell desperately. They choose well, invest wisely, and then have the patience to let time do its work. They understand that true wealth is built through compounding, through gradual accumulation, through growth that may seem slow at first but becomes exponential over time. You have this mindset naturally. You don't need immediate results to trust that you're on the right track. You can nurture a dream for years if necessary because you know that everything valuable takes time to mature. But there's another layer to all this patience that is pure spiritual gold. When you wait, you're not standing still. You're preparing. You're refining. You're letting the pieces fall into place naturally instead of forcing connections that aren't ready. Many opportunities that seem to have passed were actually just waiting for you to be truly ready to receive them. That business deal that didn't work out 3 years ago? Maybe you weren't ready yet. Today, with everything you've learned, with all the connections you've built, with the maturity you've developed, perhaps it's exactly the right time. Now I'm going to reveal a secret about manifesting abundance that few people understand. The universe always delivers, but in its own time, not ours. When you become anxious, when you doubt, when you give up because you think you should have already received it, you interrupt the manifestation process. It's like opening the oven all the time to see if the cake is ready. You only delay the baking and can even ruin everything. Your Cancerian patience, when combined with unwavering faith, creates the perfect environment for your intentions to fully materialize at the most favorable moment possible. And one more beautiful thing about your patience: it allows you to make better choices in all areas of life. You don't accept the first offer out of desperation. You don't associate with just anyone to avoid being alone. You don't invest in any scheme simply because it promises a quick return. You wait until you feel it's right, until you find the opportunity that truly aligns with your values and goals. And when you finally act after waiting, observing, and feeling, your choices are infinitely more accurate. Fewer attempts, more successes. Less waste, more efficiency. That's intelligent wealth being built with age-old wisdom. 8th test. You create security wherever you are. There's a magic that happens when you enter a space. It could be a house, an office, a meeting, even a conversation. In some mysterious way, the space transforms. People relax. Defenses lower. A welcoming atmosphere settles in the air. This is no coincidence. It's you emanating the Cancerian energy of creating emotional homes. And this ability to generate security and comfort wherever you are has immense economic value, even if you've never stopped to calculate how much it's really worth. Think about the real estate market, for example. What makes one house worth more than another? Location, yes, square footage too, but there's something more. There's that feeling of home, that sense of belonging, that touch that transforms a physical structure into an emotional nest. You have that touch naturally. You can take the coldest, most impersonal space and transform it into a welcoming refuge. That's worth a literal fortune in the business world involving environments, experiences, and hospitality. But it's also worth a symbolic fortune in any area of life, because people pay dearly to feel safe. Now broaden that vision beyond physical spaces. You create emotional security in your relationships. People feel comfortable being vulnerable with you, confessing their fears, asking for help, showing their weaknesses. Do you know what that means in the business world? Trust. And trust is the most valuable currency in any human transaction. When people trust you, they tell you things they don't tell anyone else. They present you with opportunities they don't share publicly. They choose you even when you're not the cheapest option. Because price can be compared, but emotional security is incomparable. There's another fascinating aspect here. In an increasingly chaotic, uncertain, and unstable world, people are desperate for emotional anchors. For places, for people, for experiences that make them feel that everything is all right, that they are safe, that they can relax. You offer that naturally. You are that safe harbor in the storm. And you know what happens? People don't want to lose you. They immensely value your presence in their lives. They reciprocate in every possible way. With loyalty, with opportunities, with recommendations, with fair and generous exchanges. You become indispensable not because of your technique, but because of your essence. Look how interesting it is when you apply this strategically. If you have a business, transforming it into a space of emotional safety multiplies its value exponentially. Customers return not only for the product or service, but for the feeling of being cared for. If you work in a team, being the person who creates a climate of psychological safety makes you a natural leader, even without an official position. Teams where people feel safe are more productive, more creative, and more loyal. If you invest in real estate, your talent for creating homes instead of just houses can be the differentiating factor that multiplies value. But there's an important trap here that I need to warn you about. Creating security for others cannot mean you living in insecurity. Many Cancerians give so much of themselves creating comfort for everyone that they forget to build their own fortress. You need to first ensure your own financial, emotional, and material stability. You need to have your own safe haven before you can be a safe haven for others. When you do that, when you are secure first, your ability to create security for others multiplies without draining you. And then this characteristic of yours transforms into an inexhaustible source of prosperity. Ninth test. You feel when abundance is coming. Now we come to the most mystical and perhaps most powerful proof of all. You have an internal warning system that picks up on changes in energy before they materialize. Days before an opportunity knocks on your door, you already feel something different in the air. Weeks before a financial turnaround, your body already subtly warns you. You wake up different. You dream differently. You feel an inexplicable anticipation. This is not imagination. It's your Cancerian psychic system functioning as a radar for frequencies of abundance. And when you learn to trust these signs, you navigate life with an unfair advantage. Most people live in reactive mode. They only notice things when they're already happening or even after they've passed. Not you. You feel the waves before they break on the shore. You perceive the changes in the tide before others notice. This sensitivity allows you to position yourself in advance. While others are being caught off guard, you've been preparing for weeks. While others are reacting desperately, you've already calmly taken the necessary steps. This ability to sense the near future is literally a financial superpower. Do you know those moments when you wake up with a strange feeling that something big is going to happen? Or those days when you feel a different energy in the air, as if the universe is conspiring in your favor? Pay attention to these signs. They are not random. Your body, governed by the moon which commands all subtle fluids and movements, is picking up information from the energy field around you. You are literally feeling the future approaching. And the more you validate these perceptions instead of ignoring them, the more accurate they become. Now I'm going to teach you something practical. Start keeping a journal of your feelings. When you have that feeling that something good is coming, write down the date and what you're feeling. Then, when it actually materializes, go back and confirm it. You'll start to notice patterns. You'll realize that certain physical sensations precede certain types of opportunities. That tingling in your chest might be your alert for financial opportunities. That inexplicable lightness might announce important connections coming. You'll develop a personal dictionary of signs that the universe uses to communicate specifically with you. But there's a crucial detail in this whole story. Feeling abundance coming isn't enough. You need to act when the signs appear. Many Cancerians perfectly pick up on the omens, but are paralyzed by doubt. The heart says yes, but the rational mind argues against it. Learn to balance the two. Use your intuition to identify the direction and your reason to plan the steps. When you feel the tide is favorable, it's time to sail, not to stay in port in fear. The universe warns you precisely so that you prepare and launch yourself. And here is the great final secret. Abundance is not just about receiving, it's about circulating. You were chosen for a life of wealth, not just to accumulate, but to make good flow. When you feel abundance coming to you, remember that it comes for you to be a channel, not a dam. The more generously you share, the more space you create to receive even more. The more you allow wealth to flow through your life blessing others, the more the universe uses you as a conduit of blessings. And being a conduit of blessings is the most prosperous position that exists in the entire cosmos. So here we are, dear Cancerian. After going through these 9 irrefutable proofs that you were chosen by the universe to live a life of true wealth, it wasn't luck that made you born under this sign. It wasn't chance that gave you all this sensitivity, this capacity to love deeply, this sharp intuition, this protective determination. All of these are divine tools that were placed in your hand so that you can fulfill your greater purpose on earth. And this purpose is intimately linked to prosperity, because you cannot do good in the world while living in scarcity. Each gift I've revealed here today is a key to unlocking levels of abundance you may not even imagine are possible. Your intuition guiding you to the right opportunities, your ability to transform emotions into valuable creations, your loyalty building golden networks, your special eye seeing value where others only see emptiness, your emotional memory being a library of wisdom, your protective strength defending your dreams, your patience respecting divine timing, your ability to create security attracting people and opportunities, and your psychic radar sensing when abundance is arriving. Put all this together and you have a formula too powerful to ignore. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Now that you know you've been chosen, that you have all these tools, what are you going to do with this information? Will you continue doubting yourself, hiding behind your shell, afraid to shine? Or will you take your place as a co-creator of your prosperous reality? The universe has already done its part. It gave you the gifts. It opened the paths. It planted the signs. Now it's your turn to do your part. To honor these gifts by using them fully. To believe that yes, you deserve all the wealth you desire and then some. So my challenge for you today is this. Choose one of the 9 gifts that resonated most with you. The one that, when you read it, made your heart clench with recognition. And during this next week, consciously use it every day. If it was intuition, stop and listen to it before making decisions. If it was seeing hidden value, actively look for disguised opportunities. If it was creating security, make this ability conscious and apply it strategically. Choose a gift, practice it intensely for 7 days, and then come back here in the comments to tell me what happened. Because I guarantee that when you intentionally use what the cosmos has given you, the results are magical. And speaking of comments, I really want to hear from you. Which of these 9 tests impacted you the most? Which one had you never noticed about yourself? Which one do you already use but didn't know was such a special gift? Share below. Let's create a chain of recognition of our Cancerian gifts. And again, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate that bell. I'm here daily bringing messages that will help you unlock your full cosmic potential. If you feel that this content really makes a difference in your life, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. Every bit of support allows me to continue this work of illuminating paths. So that's it, my blessed Cancerian. You were chosen. You have the gifts. You deserve all the riches of this universe. Now go and claim what is already yours by divine right. The universe is waiting to pour abundance into your life. Open your arms, open your heart, and receive everything that has already been set aside especially for you. A huge kiss to your heart. Until next time. And remember, you are much more powerful than you imagine.